The topic of today's vlog is emotional midgets. Now, I'm going to give you two real life examples of them, but let me first say if you have someone who is an emotional midget who may be even physically attractive to you, it's going to be uh, a real sad situation if you decide to get into a dating relationship with this kind of person. So, what is an emotional midget? An emotional midget is a person who, um, although they may be chronologically a man or a woman, as far as their age, the years, they have stopped somewhere early in their development. They have stopped or ceased to develop normally as far as their mental, emotional state. Um, so let's just jump right into two examples, and you can see what we mean here. The first example, I was online and on the browser I was using, a news story popped up of some young ladies, high school young ladies, who were protesting because the school had a dress code of what they should and should not be wearing. And so I looked up an article because there's more than one case where people are protesting having reasonable standards of dress in public places. And I looked up one article that was from about 15 months ago, where these high school young ladies were protesting. They felt it was their right to have wear small um, attire so that they could show things like their belly, to show their belly could be out, and so it was a long article, but I copied a few little short snippets here from the article so you can kind of get the sense of what these young ladies were protesting. So evidently, folks had posters at the high school, the young people did, and one poster, it said, basically, if the boys are young men, I mean, high school, you got what, 16, 17, even 18-year-olds. I know when I was in high school, I did reach 18 years old, which is no longer a minor, before I graduated, and I think that's the case with a lot of young men and young women. But in any case, um, one poster protesting the fact that the girls could not, have short attire where the hem was, showing all their thighs and showing their bellies and, back out and whatever else. Uh, the poster said, "Teach boys to focus, not girls to cover up. If children's midriffs distract you, you should not be working with children." Another read. Well, technically, in high school, you do have young ladies and young men who are minors. But come on, people, let's not play games and be silly and childish. Childish. That's what I mean by an emotional midget. That's just really childish. When I was in high school, and I don't think it's much different, a lot of the young ladies had reached basically a physical maturity. Whether or not these young ladies here are emotionally mature, um, that could be debated quite easily that they're not. But as far as physically, you got, you know, young ladies are reaching, you know, womanhood in their teens, definitely. Um, and to then say, well, it's the problem of the young men in the high school, they shouldn't be distracted. That's just really infantile. It's like an infant just does whatever they want to do when they want to do it. I mean, they'll just strip off their clothes and walk around. It's an infant, so we don't expect any better than that from an infant. But as we mature, hopefully we learn to conduct ourselves appropriately in society. Otherwise, we end up being an emotional or social midget, stunted. Our emotional growth, our social growth is stunted. Another comment, it says, uh, some of the students, I guess, in protest, they were, let's see, however, we noticed that some students began coming to class in slippers, crop tops, and sports bras. Okay, so if you don't have a standard or you have these people who are protesting reasonable standards, you get these people that really want what they want to do is be like an infant and do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Come on now. Really? Young women wearing bras as their, you know, top garment, and that's what they're, and you're saying that the young men shouldn't be distracted, or even some of the administrators, staff that's working in the school, they see somebody walking around in a sports bra or even some of these crop tops and halter tops. I mean, it's showing so much, and you want to act like the staff, the adult staff, oh, they're a pervert if they say anything, or they shouldn't be working with kids. Come on, these young ladies may be a couple years from being majority age, but these aren't little toddlers, infants walking around. Like I say, who will sometimes we got to teach little toddlers. Oh no, don't run outside with without your being dressed. They may run out without their in their underwear or with nothing. We teach them. They're a toddler. That's where they are mentally, emotionally. But these young ladies, and you know, if young men and young ladies are running around improperly covered in a social environment, that is a distraction. Let's see the third comment here. Whenever teachers used to dress code me, that's mean that they were calling the student out for not being appropriately dressed, and I guess writing them up. Um, and I guess there would be some consequences if you're in the school. This person, when they get written up, they would ask the person, the adult who's giving them a warning and writing whatever up. They would ask them, the student would ask the adult, why they were staring at my body to begin with. Okay, come on. You're walking around improperly clothed, then want to challenge the staff at the school for saying, hey, you're not adhering to the code, and why are you staring at? Come on, that's infant. That's so juvenile. Okay, and then the last comment: these little kids are gonna have a really hard time. This is a person responding to um, this young lady who was getting protests together, and this person said these little kids are gonna, and they're not little kids, by the way. But anyway, these little kids are gonna have a really hard time getting a job in the future if they can't understand the basics of dress code. One critic wrote. So, yeah, there is a standard in the workplace, or any legitimate workplace, and by the time you're in your teens, if you don't understand that in social environments in the public that there should be a standard, um, then that person is something, their mental, emotional, social growth has been arrested, and they are midgets, mentally, emotionally. Let me give you another example of an emotional midget, and this has to do with a person who responded to a vlog I did, maybe a few weeks ago, regarding one of the latest Supreme Court justices who was going through the Senate hearing process, and she was asked what is a woman, to define what is a woman, and the justice was basically seemed to be fearful to even say what a woman was. So my vlog on that topic had to do with the fact that, we're in a cultural war where people at the highest level of the judicial system are scared to say, basic things like what a man is, what a woman is, for fear of backlash from the folks who are pushing a very perverse and contrary ideology that is counterproductive to our community, our society, our culture. And so this person responded, and I will skip over the profane word the person used, but read the rest of the comment. This person, I can't tell how old they are because they're using, looks like a picture or cartoon cat face as their profile picture. I presume it's a young man based on the first name, Dylan, and I will try to cover up the last name. I don't people going after this person, but Dylan, the cat, cartoon cat face person, says about the judge that I was saying, she couldn't answer or wouldn't answer the question about what a woman is. He says she can, but she doesn't want to answer stupid, and I'll leave out the expletive. She doesn't want to answer stupid questions. Can you answer what it's like to be with a woman? Your conservatives seem to have trouble with that one. And then he's got the little uh, emoji of somebody laughing so hard the tears are coming out. So this reminds me of when I was around 12 years old. The school I was going to at that time had a number of juvenile delinquent young men. And one of the things that was typical of them in their juvenile delinquency, mental, emotional midgets that they were, is that whenever they disagreed with you, um, there were a handful of things that they would just throw back at you to try to be superior. And one of them was, well, you can't even get a woman. You can't be with a woman. And they would sometimes, I believe, make up all sort of stories about sexual escapades they were supposedly having with, females. And that's what this person sounds like. Uh, we're dealing with a subject about the culture war and the impact of how a Supreme Court judge is fearful to answer and define what a woman is. And it- he's thrown in here as, I guess, some kind of, ha, got you back. You know, I'm proving some point by saying you conservatives have trouble with answering the question of what it is to be, what it's like to be with a woman. I'm not sure. This is so juvenile, mental midget. So again, young ladies, if you have somebody like this that is trying to approach you as far as wants to get to know you, be in a relationship, dating, look, you probably if you were my friend, I would suggest if I was counseling you and you were in my circle, I'd say beware. Even giving your number to this kind of person is a danger because they don't have the basic understanding of how to deal with people on a serious topic and discuss something in a social forum. So, mental, emotional midgets. There are a lot of them out there, but I advocate you think twice before you give this kind of person any telephone number or way to contact you. And you know, I would say even considering going on a date with a person like this, tell you when you're trying to deal with them on serious topics and they're just infantile, acting like an infant, a juvenile delinquent, uh, and you're trying to be serious, ladies, and conduct yourself and be a sober, serious person, that's going to be a real conflict. All right, we'll stop there.